Well, good evening and welcome to Goodison Park for what tonight is a hero's return. David Moyes back in the dugout for Everton as they take on Aston Villa in the Premier League. An 11-year reign that was halted in 2013, it begins again, and this time the job is much harder. When he left over a decade ago, they finished 6th in the top flight. Now they're staving off relegation. He's got the backing of his predecessor Sean Dyche. Can he get off to a winning start? As flags are hung down from the Gladys Street end away to our left-hand side, banners which suggest Everton's history is rife here before they move to the new stadium later this year. But this traditional old ground that is packed with history is about to welcome a man who created some of that more recent history in times gone by. Aston Villa will want to spoil the party. They themselves have floated away from the European places in recent weeks. A big 3 points here tonight could help them in making sure their foreign exploits this campaign continue into the next one. Listen to the noise at Goodison Park that may feel tonight there's a refresh, a restart, a go again, a new beginning under an old face. The teams walk out into the middle of the pitch, all sides of Goodison Park on their feet. The two-tiered stands on the far side and the Gladys Street end to our left, where the pillars hold up the corrugated roof. There's going to be a big moment in a moment when David Moyes walks out. The boos that you can hear in the background are for the Premier League anthem. Everton have had their own battles with the Premier League in recent years. Both of these sides progressed to the fourth round of the FA Cup at the weekend. Everton went first on Thursday night with a 2-0 home win over Peterborough. From that FA Cup tie, 5 changes. Branthwaite, Gay, Mangala, Mikalenko and Ndai remain in. From their last league game, the 1-0 loss at Bournemouth, Sean Dyche's last game in charge, just 2 changes. Lindstrom's moved to the bench. Breuer, who went off on a stretcher against Peterborough, is absent altogether. So Jack Harrison gets a start, so does Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who's without a goal in his last 15 Premier League games. But emerging from the tunnel that dips down below the stand here is David Moyes in a navy long overcoat. It's quite mild on Merseyside tonight, but he waves with his right arm in the air to salute the crowd, waving to all 4 sides of Goodison Park. A stern face with an ever so slight wry smile. The grey hair has significantly increased in his decade away, but it is a familiar sight to see David Moyes now in the home dugout of Goodison Park, and he'll take his place there. Pickford's in goal for Everton tonight. Young, Tarkowski, Branthwaite and Mikalenko, the back four. Mangala and Gay in midfield. Harrison, Decore and Ndai support Dominic Calvert-Lewin up front. Villa's side isn't too dissimilar to the team that beat West Ham to reach the FA Cup 4th round last Friday. Goalkeeper Robin Olsen makes way for their Premier League number 1 Emiliano Martinez. Ian Matson swaps out for Luca Dean. Ross Barkley went off injured on Friday night, so the former Everton man in Amadou Onana resumes in midfield. Jacob Ramsey starts ahead of Leon Bailey. So Martinez is the goalkeeper. Cash Concert, Mings and Dean, the back 4. Kamara and Onana in midfield. Ramsey, Tielemans and Rodgers behind Ollie Watkins up front. The former Premier League midfielder Mark Albright alongside me tonight. It is all about David Moyes this evening.
Yeah, good evening. It's a special night, absolutely. I think we just noticed that there with the arrival of David Moyes. And there's a lot of sentiment around it. There's a lot of sentiment around his return. But I think he knows he's not naive enough to not understand that he's got a massive job to do. He's got a massive job on his hands to try and turn this club around as well as he can. Well, it starts tonight against a strong Villa side who they'll be looking to spoil the party, if you like. And they brought a big away following. They've got quality. They're in mixed form, but they've won the last couple, and they'll be coming into it with a lot of confidence. So it's got all the attributes to be an exciting game.
You mentioned Villa coming into this on the back of a couple of wins as we begin here at Goodison Park. They've lost each of their last 5 Premier League away games, so there is a mountain for them to get over, a big hurdle. Psychological, maybe more than physical. But it's Everton who begin proceedings under the new era of David Moyes. They are left to right in the first half, attacking the Sir Philip Carter Park stand away to our right-hand side, that large single-tiered end of Everton's Goodison Park. Royal blue shirts, the white shorts and the white socks, whereas Aston Villa in that traditional claret and blue, predominantly claret shirts with the sky blue sleeves, the claret shorts, the claret socks. They are from right to left in the opening 45 minutes, attacking the Gladys Street end, and already some early Everton pressure. Sees the ball back to Emiliano Martinez, who launches it long. Ollie Watkins is offside, and that gives Everton a free kick just outside the centre circle in their own half.
Yeah, I think the start could be crucial tonight. I think this is it's a fantastic place to play football, but you can notice a difference with momentum. I think it can swing quickly either way. If Everton get on top, if they get an early goal, then this place will be rocking. Equally,
chase headed back. Sorry, Mark.
Equally, I think with if Villa score early, I think this crowd probably take a little bit longer to turn tonight, but it can turn. We have noticed that, especially in recent years. So I think the start is crucial. So both teams will be looking to get off to that good start.
Both managers' arms folded down on the edge of their technical area here. Haven't got much of a run off from the edge of the pitch to the edge of the dugout, but David Moyes already just waving a couple of his players forward on the press. Unai Emery, quilted black winter coat on tonight that goes down to mid-thigh. Smart black trousers on and black shoes to match that shiny black hair reflecting off the floodlights here. There's Tyrone Mings for Aston Villa. Good to see him back in the team. Made his return in December after over a year out with an ACL injury. Banana is caught midway inside the Aston Villa half, gives them a reprieve and a free kick. Luca Dean, one of those changes that Unai Emery's made from the weekend win over West Ham on Friday night in the FA Cup. Villa now will host Spurs in the next round, but it's Premier League action and Premier League form where both of these sides need to get going.
Yeah, I think Villa has been mixed. I was at the FA Cup game on Friday night, and first half they were second best to a lot of what West Ham were doing. So it was second half they did come out. It was more like we used to seeing them under Unai Emery, and it was a much better performance. They got the goals and fully deserved the win, I think, in the end. Everton, yeah, not in great form, but they'll be hoping that this new appointment will give them a bit of a bounce and they can get the points to climb the table.
Found a little bit of space here. Anana running forward. The former Everton man's going to let the shot fly, and it takes a deflection which carries it behind for a corner, but it wrong-footed Pickford, who dived to his left and left the right-hand side of his goal all exposed there, Jordan Pickford, and it means Everton are lucky in that circumstance.
Yeah, absolutely. It would have been unlucky if it did go in. He had a lot of space in the middle there. He's hit his shot with his left foot, and I don't know whether he caught it properly, but took a big deflection, and they can go anywhere. And Pickford was wrong-footed, so I think they're lucky that it's just gone out for a corner.
Slammed off the shin pad of James Tarkowski, carries it wide of the left-hand post. 30-yard shot or so from Amadou Onana. Gives Aston Villa this corner, which Tielemans swings in near post, headed away by the front man of Ashley Young, and that gives Aston Villa from a corner to a throw-in. We've played 4 minutes, still 0-0. A couple of other games going on tonight. Leicester City, Crystal Palace goalless as well, as is Newcastle against Wolves. Here comes a chance for Villa. Stinging shot from Morgan Rogers, needs Jordan Pickford to parry away down to his left-hand side and out for a corner on the far side. Rogers, who's come to life this season in an Aston Villa shirt, shows it once again.
Really caught that well as well. Bit of tenacious play by Villa's midfield down in this left-hand side. and the ball breaks. Lovely bit of footwork by Morgan Rogers, and gets off a great shot and a great save by Pickford.
Yeah, the open palm of Jordan Pickford, getting it round the post. Right-footed curling effort, looking for the far corner from Morgan Rogers. Keeps it. Everton 0, Aston Villa 0 for now. 5 minutes played. Corner on the far side. 5 Live Sports Extra this evening, live from Goodison Park. 5 Live Sports got the North London derby from 8 o'clock. In goes another Villa corner right under the goalkeeper. Headed over by an Everton defender. Onana was in the mix there as well. What, a yard or two, if that, from Pickford's goal line.
Yeah, there's a lot of bodies in that 6-yard box. It's difficult for Pickford to find any space to come and claim it. So I think that's the idea. Stick it on top of him and into the bodies.
Let alone difficult for Pickford, difficult for Mark Albrighton to see a massive white pillar in front of us. As in goes another corner to the near post. Again headed away, this time from Everton once more. These are the classic grounds of English football, and it's why we love them, even if it limits the viewing range of myself and Mark this evening. Onana again to find it from distance, skimming along the turf from 25 yards out, right at the D, and it goes wide of Pickford, who quickly retracted his hands, realising that ball was safe. Everton goal kick 0-0.
Yeah, another Onana shot, but I don't think he caught that one well as well. The same as the first one. The first one on his left foot, second one on his right foot. Didn't really get hold of it as well as he would have liked, but a great start by Villa, finding a lot of space in the middle of the park there.
Here's Onana again to win the ball back off Jack Harrison. 63 appearances over 2 seasons here at Goodison Park for Amadou Onana. Cost Aston Villa the best part of £50 million to take him from Merseyside to the Midlands. Martinez hurries a clearance away from his own penalty area, away to our right hand side. Everton just get the ball back down on the deck, and that means that Decore can shift to the right corner of the penalty area. Jack Harrison dancing with his feet, just invites Jacob Ramsey to step in. Concedes the throw in, the Aston Villa winger, but Everton take that throw in quickly with Ashley Young and Jack Harrison in quick triangle passing on this near side. Everton's right, and it goes now. Overplayed it there, Everton, and it goes for an Aston Villa throw-in.
Yeah, a little bit scrappy down this near side here. Neither team can string a couple of passes together. Villa can't get out. Everton can't create anything. But yeah, good start to the game though. Good start to the game. It's been quite frantic. Lot of tackles. Villa a couple of shots. So yeah, good start, promising.
Branthwaite, heavy touch, he's conceded possession, and that's allowed Villa to put Ollie Watkins through. Tielemans in support, Tielemans with one touch, then takes the shot left-footed, just away from the penalty spot. Crowded out in the end. Everton did throw the bodies back, they had to. But that all came from a mistake from Jared Branthwaite. Now as Everton try and go forward, Onana again at the heart of it. He's taken down Adrissa Gana Gay, and that has given Everton a free kick 10 yards inside their own half. Just got a little lively there from both sides.
Yeah, it did. Again, Villa break, and they're in a great position to score the game's first goal. Just seen Unai Emery applauding Ollie Watkins there. I think Ollie Watkins can do better with the pass. If I'm being perfectly honest, I think it's the right idea to pass it to Tielemans, who was in space, created a 2v1. But the pass is a bit too close to him, so he has to take the touch out of his feet, and that gives Tarkowski the time to get over and put the block in. I think the pass can be a bit further in front of Tielemans there.
Free kick taken. Everton with a powerful header from Gay, midway inside the Aston Villa half to the edge of the box, cleared away by Aston Villa for now. Tielemans, who's yet to score in the Premier League this season, perhaps showing just why there. 4 assists though for the Belgian. And the initial through ball to Ollie Watkins could have perhaps been done with the other way round. No player has played more successful through balls this season than Youri Tielemans, than Cole Palmer. Tielemans has done it 7 times, Palmer 8. Palmer on the score sheet again last night as Chelsea drew 2-2 with Bournemouth. It is still goalless elsewhere in the Premier League. Leicester and Crystal Palace, Newcastle and Wolves, and here at Goodison Park after 9.5 minutes of action on 5 Sports Extra. Easily allowed to bring it away. Ezri Konsa up towards the halfway line on Villa's right, the far side. Now they're motoring forward with Morgan Rogers. Mikalenko gets the challenge in on the byline. Works well, Everton half clear it, not very successfully. Here's Watkins on the edge of the box. He's been backed out of the penalty area though Luca Dean in support to his left-hand side, slipped through by Onana, and then onto the right of the box. Everton again in the way. Mikalenko once more. He's needed to be called upon a couple of times there. Now Everton up towards the halfway line with Decore. Dominic Calvert-Lewin has gone too early, and it looked that way. He was checking the line as soon as he touched the ball. The flag on the near side goes up. Everton 0, Aston Villa 0.
Yeah, very open game I think there as well. Just the ball's played a little bit too late for Calvert-Lewin, who's already made the run. And the linesman puts his offside flag up, but great start to the game. There's a lot of chances, a lot of end-to-end action, so I think we could be in for a good game here tonight.
So Villa failing to score. Mark Albrighton knows what it's like to score on this ground with Leicester City. Although ask him if he remembers it. He can remember the goal, he can't remember the scoreline that day.
Nah, I would like to say that we won the game, but it weren't to be. It weren't to be. I did my job, as they say.
Who says football's a team sport, eh? Put Leicester in front, but Everton had other ideas. They were 2-1 up through Mark Albrighton's free kick. 2 from Lukaku and 1 from Phil Jagielka. Mate, Everton won 4-2 that day here at Goodison Park. And it's a pull on the shirt of Iliman Ndiaye, so that's a free kick to Everton. Aston Villa already have one player in the book. They're just trying to work out who is the offender. It was Onana again.
Yeah, it's a physical game so far. Like I say, it was a bit scrappy down this near side here. Plenty of tackles flying in. Onana already been booked for a late tackle. Again, he's mixing it with the Everton players. So it's very physical. Started off very physical. I'm sure that will continue throughout the game. Two sides that are proud clubs, fight for their shirt. So they're expected to put in that fight and that battle.
So free kick to Everton, right of centre. And right to our right-hand side, Ashley Young, right-footed, bends it in. Easy header away by Boubacar Kamara, down into the ground, up towards the halfway line. Young will get a second chance to swing that ball towards the penalty area. It does so towards the left corner of it, where James Tarkowski, the big central defender, is able to knock it down on the floor for the Toffees. They've had a sticky start, but are slowly growing into this game. It's a floated ball towards the right-hand side. Luca Dean's header sends it out of play before it reaches Jack Harrison. Mark Albrighton.
Yeah, they have had a sticky start. I think Villa will be disappointed that they've not been able to take their chances. They've had plenty of opportunities, a couple of shots from distance, couple of more clearer chances. So they'll be disappointed that they've not took them, but also delighted with the possession and the fact that they are making chances. Everton will feel like they've weathered a certain storm at the start of the game, and now, like you say, they're building into it, and I'm sure that they will continue to do that and create their own chances.
0-0 on David Moyes' return to the Everton home dugout. 12th of May 2013, the last time he stood there. Everton beat West Ham by 2-0, and in the summer David Moyes would swap Merseyside for Manchester to become the Manchester United boss. It was 4,267 days ago since he last stood there. Unai Emery's pre-match talk, anything to do with David Moyes tonight, or do the players know that anyway?
I think the players will know that. I do believe that. I think Unai Emery strikes me as a guy that will just get on with the tactics that he's used to enforcing. I don't think he will do anything different in terms of the build-up. Might have been mentioned once or twice. The atmosphere was going to be slightly different, but I don't think tactically or in terms of his game plan there'll be any changes to what has got him the success so far as Aston Villa manager.
So 0-0 at the minute. Everton and Aston Villa. 5 Sports Extra live from Goodison Park this evening. Dominic Calvert-Lewin tries to hold off Tyrone Mings. That's going to be a good challenge tonight. They are both lofty players. Pickford, Tarkowski playing 1-2s on the edge of the penalty area, and Watkins is trying to run around in between the pair of them. Pickford eventually sends it long into the centre circle, where Dominic Calvert-Lewin can try and head it down. Here's Gay flicked round the corner by Harrison on the right hand side, and Decore has got space. He's got Calvert-Lewin to aim for in the middle. It's flicked up and over the bar by Tyrone Mings and gives Everton their first corner of the game.
Yeah, that's the best passage of play so far. The ball out to Harrison, who plays a lovely round the corner with his left foot. Decore makes the run as he so often does. Just can't beat Tyrone Mings at that near post, but does enough to get his team a corner and see if they can build on this and make something from this.
Everton don't mind a set piece goal. They don't score many from open play. Maybe this is their chance. Down on the near right hand side then. Ashley Young just backs away down the touchline, right arm raised in the air, everybody back inside the penalty area for Aston Villa. Outswinging delivery onto the head of Tyrone Mings. It's then met on the volley, and a smashing volley as well that takes a deflection. It was Gay waiting for it, 25 yards out, just outside the D, right-footed volley, and Everton will go again.
Yeah, caught it really nice there, Gay. Young's corner as well. It's a good ball in. His first free kick was disappointing, but the corner there was a good ball in. Tyrone Mings, he does eat them up though.
Almost a free header at the time for Tyrone Mings. Read it well. Ashley Young outswinging delivery once again from the right hand side, and guess who's under it once again? Tyrone Mings of Aston Villa. Quickly on the recovery was Oral Mangala, had to be. Sends it back to his goalkeeper Jordan Pickford, but had he got that wrong, Aston Villa might have been looking at a break down the field. That's a soft touch by James Tarkowski, and Young has just put Watkins in here, who bends it round Jordan Pickford, but can't get enough bend on it to take it the right side of the post. Well, that was a mess up, sloppy mess up at the back for Everton, and Watkins on the left corner of the penalty area, first time hit on that pass back that he intercepted. Curled it right-footed, looking for the far corner that never quite beckoned the ball in the back of the net. Everton 0, Aston Villa 0.
Yeah, very unlike Ashley Young there with the back pass back to Pickford, who sold him ever so short. Didn't see Ollie Watkins, who's so often in them areas where he's looking for mistakes, looking to pounce. On this occasion he does. He gets himself one-on-one with Pickford, and he will feel like he needs to do better. That's certainly something in recent weeks. He has missed a lot of chances. He's been given a lot of chances and not been able to take them.
Calvert-Lewin gets there ahead of Mings. He's dragged towards this near side corner though, floats it in, and Martinez saves. Ollie Watkins 8 goals this season. He scored on 2 of his 4 visits here at Goodison Park. That was a big chance there, possibly Aston Villa's best so far. 0-0. For all of Everton's hard work to get back in this game, they nearly severely let themselves down.
Yeah, they did. Just a lapse in concentration. Like I say, very unlike Ashley Young, one of the most experienced players on the pitch, if not the most experienced. And he was let off the hook there. I think Ollie Watkins will know Pickford from his time at England. He will know that he makes himself big. He doesn't give you a lot to aim at, so he probably has just tried to go a bit further outside that far post than what he needed to, just to compensate for Pickford stretching his body out.
Luca Dean left hand side, just a yard in or so from the touchline. Near side for Aston Villa. Played back into their own half for Tyrone Mings, who just strides forward with the ball, one long leg at a time, and then a left-footed pass to Ezri Konsa. He plays it to Kamara, and then back to Konsa again, who's now spotted the run of Luca Dean. There are appeals for offside. Jack Harrison is trying to get back with the Aston Villa left back, who's got himself forward here. Here's Anana. Feels like we've not mentioned him for 10-15 minutes or so, despite starting the game in the thick of the action with a couple of shots and a couple of fouls as well. Villa here in a little spell of possession, timely on the ball, with Mings to the left of the centre circle, now switching the play, drifting ball high in the air out towards the far right hand side. Kamara, Tielemans, goalless at Goodison Park, still goalless elsewhere in the Premier League at the moment as well. Leicester hosting Crystal Palace tonight, another one of Mark Albrighton's former sides, Newcastle and Wolves as well. There's Anana inside the centre circle. Calvert-Lewin will put a little bit of pressure on Ezri Konsa, but the Aston Villa centre-back always the favourite for that, so back he goes to Emiliano Martinez. Now Mings to Onana again. Aston Villa, who are on a poor run of form away from home, but actually coming to Goodison Park there, unbeaten in their last 5, winning 3 of those, drawing 2, and they've kept a clean sheet in each of their last 3 as well. So far Martinez hasn't had a lot to do in the Villa goal as we hit the 20-minute mark. A reminder, in about 10 minutes or so on 5 Live Sport, you've got the North London derby, Arsenal against Tottenham, and what a game that could be. Unless you're Ange Postecoglou, who massively undersold it ahead of the game. Here's Martinez inside his own penalty area. He needs an option. Eventually has to go to his right hand side, still inside the 18-yard box of Aston Villa, to Ezri Konsa. Villa have worked their way forward. I think Everton fans there wanted to see their side press a little bit more as well. Yeah, I think they did. I think just like what they've done there, they've put a little bit of pressure on and won the ball back, and they can break. But Villa did seem very calm on the ball, especially Martinez at the back. Just Onana just coming to show for the ball. Will he play it out to the other centre half? If Calvert-Lewin blocks that off, he just goes back to Martinez. Martinez stands on it, so they're in no rush. They're in no rush to go forward. I think it's a key part of their game, just to keep the ball and wait for the opening. And then they've got the numbers in the middle of the park. You can see Kamara, Onana, Tielemans, Ramsey goes in there, you've got Rodgers in there, and that's where they like to get their overload, so they wait for the opportunity to get the ball into them players, and that's where the combinations start. It's Corey on the chase here for Everton, as Aston Villa again on the edge of their own penalty area keep the possession. 0-0. Everton winless in their last 11 Premier League games against Aston Villa. Before that they'd won 6 of 8. David Moyes, as a manager, loves a draw against Aston Villa, so maybe settle in for the evening. 18 matches, 9 of them have ended as a draw. Only 2 defeats against Aston Villa in his managerial career as Everton, United and West Ham boss. It was a good challenge for Mark Albrighton in the press room earlier when I asked him to name all the managers that Everton have had since David Moyes last stood in the dugout. You did pretty well. No, slightly disappointed, missing 4. But for a couple of obvious ones in there, one not so much, certainly one not so much. I would never have got the one. That one being David Unsworth, who had a couple of caretaker spells. Miss Big Frank Lampard? Yes, yeah, disappointed with that one. Miss Rafa Benitez off your list as well. Quickly rattled off Sean Dyche and Carlo Ancelotti and Roberto Martinez. Martinez on the field right now. He's on the halfway line, he's in the centre circle, he's on the centre spot, the Aston Villa goalkeeper. Villa here have a corner. It was knocked out of play by Jack Harrison in a tussle with Luca Dean, who now sends in the delivery near post. Headed by Ashley Young, comes back out to Youri Tielemans on the left hand side. He gets past one, then will stand up another cross, which is caught overhead height by Jordan Pickford, just a yard out of his goal line. Yeah, Tielemans will be disappointed with the quality of the corners over from this near hand side. The in-swingers, all 3 have gone to the near post. First one was cleared by the front man. The second 2 have just been over the first man, and the second man's cleared them. So whether that's a feature, whether that's something they've worked on, the near post, but if that's the case, then they need bodies attacking it. It's a long ball forward by Aston Villa that Jarrett Branthwaite's got to manage here. Takes it right to the corner flag on the far side. That's Everton's left, and he just kicks it downfield. Anywhere will have done in that situation. Villa in possession. We're past the midway point. 23.5 minutes played, and still goalless. It's a little dink forward by Luca Dean, but the run wasn't matched by Jacob Ramsey, and it's an easy gather for Jordan Pickford. He just pats his palms down on the floor, facing the ground, just to ask Everton to calm down a little bit here. Yeah, he is one of those goalkeepers that you can see a lot of his actions and how he deals with things. He does like that one where he puts his hands down, just calms everything down, make sure everyone can just relax a little bit. It's been a bit of a frantic start, slowed down a little bit now, and I think they're quite happy with that. They've weathered, like I said earlier, they've weathered the early Villa storm, and they have built their way into the game, so they'll look to continue to do that, and Pickford will be at the heart of that with his leadership and how he can dictate the ball from his position at the back there. It's a real crisp and clear night at Goodison Park. The moon just rises up in the corner on the far side away to our left, shining bright. And You can almost see all the craters on there. It's a real good view, a real picturesque setting in a ground that can be quite picturesque. It's old steep stands, some with them wooden benches lurking and rising up in the middle of some terraced houses. Stanley Park across the way, Liverpool Football Club not too far away, and Everton will hope that David Moyes can bring them some good times, maybe to just quieten down the neighbours a little bit. Moyes will get a Merseyside derby here, following the suspension of the one a couple of weeks ago for when Sean Dyche would have been in charge. Everton here on the right hand side with Jack Harrison tight to the touch line. Challenge comes in, kind of a Ramsey and Dean sandwich there that Harrison found himself in. His touch was last. Aston Villa have themselves a throw 0-0.
Yeah, I think just picking up on what you said there about the stadium, it is so special to host football matches. I think just in general with Anfield just down the road, just across the park, and then you've got the walk in through that park, you've got all the traditional signs and then the traditional ground as well. It's a fantastic place to play football, is Merseyside.
You used to enjoy coming here?
I used to love playing here. I must admit, it's sad to see it go, and it's sad to see how they're going to be moving. I get it has to happen. However, when I'm sat on this wooden chair in the press box, I'm not too disappointed at all.
We are packed in. It is tight. If you're over 6 foot, you've got no chance. Here's Calvert-Lewin. Well, the ball was played onto on the left-hand side of the penalty area, and he had to have a quick look at goal, make sure as it rolled in front of him that he could catch it cleanly on his left boot, struck it across the face of goal, and it wasn't too far wide of the right-hand post. 0-0.
Yeah, good play, fantastic ball. Mikalenko, I think it was, in the left-back position, who just feeds one round in between Matty Cash and Ezri Konsa, and a great run by Calvert-Lewin. What we see him do so often, just playing on that shoulder and getting in. And he's unlucky with the finish. He does more or less everything right. Goes for that far post and just pulls it wide slightly, but great play nonetheless.
Unai Emery is trying to get his Aston Villa team going. He's just come out of his dugout straight to the edge of his technical area with both arms wafting in the air, saying, come on, I need to see more.
Yeah, well, I think they started so well. They started on the front foot. They managed to find the space in the middle, got a few shots off, put plenty of pressure on, and that has just died down a bit now. Like I say, Everton have got more into the game. They've built into it. So it'll be disappointed that Villa have not been able to carry on that first 5-10 minutes.
0-0. Long ball from Tarkowski, looking for Dominic Calvert-Lewin again. It's just away from a stretched left leg as he watched the ball drop over his shoulder. So Martinez has it, waited for Calvert-Lewin to come to him, and then just picks up the ball, rolls it past Calvert-Lewin and out to this near side, the left of Aston Villa for Tyrone Mings, past the halfway line. And then Ashley Young thought he won the ball against Jacob Ramsey. The referee, Sam Barrett, had other ideas and gives Aston Villa the free kick.
Yeah, I must admit, I did think Ashley Young has gone through Ramsey to get the ball there, but I can see why he's disappointed, because he does come out with the ball at the end, but I do think he's had to go through Jacob Ramsey's right leg to get there.
So we played 28 minutes, still 0-0 as Kamara sends it down the right hand side. A little bit of height on the ball, but Everton read that well enough with Mikalenko. Here's Calvert-Lewin, little nudge of the ball back towards Gay, but it hasn't worked out, and then Mangala steps across Ramsey, and this time it is a free kick going against Jacob Ramsey and in Everton's favour, which they take quickly, nowhere near where the free kick happened. In fact, Jordan Pickford took it on the edge of his penalty area. It was a good 15 yards away from where the incident happened, but it's got Everton up the pitch and they've won themselves a throw-in on this near side.
Yeah, good defended by Mangala there on the edge of his box, gets his body in the way of Ramsey, wins the ball back well, and positive that they want to be on the front foot. They want to start quickly, get the ball out to Ashley Young, looking to drive forward, so that's more positive from Everton.
So match of the day tonight, 10:40, BBC One, Alan Shearer and Micah Richards on the panel. So far, no goals in tonight's Premier League action anywhere. Here's Kamara to the right-hand side. Now has the gaining support of Matty Cash just into the penalty area. Backs away from it. Leaves it to Kamara. Scoops it up with his right foot. Header away from Ashley Young. Luca Dean and Jack Harrison challenge to the ball. Dean won it. volleyed away by Everton up towards the halfway line. Now Decore. Everton fans think there's a foul on Calvert-Lewin in the process, and that's Decore tries to release Illiman and Dye on the left-hand side. He can't, he's blocked off. Here is Decore again, and Dye will now take over, spinning away nicely with the ball away from the touchline to drag it more centrally. Runs into a little bit of traffic, lays it back. That's positive from Everton. Still goalless though, as they are with Aston Villa. Same scorelines, Leicester, Crystal Palace and Newcastle Wolves tonight as well. You've got commentary of both of those games on the BBC Sport website and app, and you can also keep up to date with all of the goals tonight. 5 Live final score on the iPlayer, plus the BBC Sport app, or via your red button as well. 5 Sports Extra Live from Goodison Park. Everton 0, Aston Villa 0. Tielemans breaks away with the ball out towards this near side left of Aston Villa in their claret shirts. Jacob Ramsey, Anana just on the edge of the centre circle, back towards the centre spot pretty much now for Yuri Tielemans to take control. Kamara just settled down again, almost standstill, with Everton happy in their own half, defensively set. Aston Villa are waiting the right option, the right run at the right time. Here's Luca Dean in from the left hand side. Anana to Tyrone Mings, and then back to Anana again, and across to Boubacar Kamara.
Yeah, this is the first little bit of a spell from either team really, that they're just passing it side to side, just keeping the ball for a bit.
Tielemans nicely played on the inside right channel. It might come to Jacob Ramsey, who goes down. Yeah, Morgan Rogers didn't get the shot away. He was pulling it to the left. I think he feels he could have carried on with the ball, but it was a scything challenge down on Jacob Ramsey on the edge of the D, and that's given Aston Villa a free kick in a dangerous position.
Yeah, I think it's the right decision. I don't think he could have played on. I don't think there was too much advantage. Morgan Rogers weren't really going towards goal. There was a couple of defenders around him. It looks a foul as well, but dangerous position here. They've got a couple of players that can strike it. Luca Dean, Yuri Tielemans over it, so they're not short of options, and it's 22, 23 yards out, so it's good range just to the left hand side, so be interested.
You scored a free kick on this ground, fancy this one?
Mine was a bit further out than this, must admit.
was yours a direct free kick?
It was a direct free kick, and that's what it says. That's what it goes down as. It doesn't go down as a wide free kick, which could have been a cross.
We will say no more. 0-0, but a chance here for Aston Villa to break the deadlock. They're now underway in the North London derby. You can hear that on 5 Live Sport this evening. So will it be Tielemans or Luca Dean? It'll either be the right of Tielemans or the left foot of Luca Dean. 25 yards or so from goal, left of centre ever so slightly, but a big moment in the game. A nervous Gladys Street end. It's Luca Dean into the wall. Few appeals of handball, quite big protest actually from Aston Villa. The ball's gone out of play for an Everton goal kick, and the referee Sam Barris just held out a hand just to say we won't continue for a minute, we're going to have a look at this free kick. Mark Albrighton.
Yeah, he's still got his hand out, he's still checking it, and like you say, they were big appeals. We're just seeing it back now. There's arms up. I think it'd be very harsh.
So it's the head of Ashley Young onto the left arm that is raised, bent at the elbow by Decore.
Yeah, not for me that. I think if that does get given, I think it's very harsh. It's from very close range, comes off Ashley Young's head. He done really well in that wall. Decore's arm is raised, but there's not a lot he can do about that, and it's not really stopped any sort of momentum for Villa.
Yeah, play back underway, so no further checks and VAR. 0-0 it remains. Here's Luca Dean, who just had that free kick slammed into the wall. Jack Harrison near side the right for Everton. Sent out towards the left via Mangala and Gay. Early crossing from Mikalenko, it is deep, it is towards Harrison. Comes off Luca Dean, who I think was in two minds whether to leave that or having to do something. In the end it comes off his chest, and Everton have a corner.
Yeah, deep ball in there from Mikalenko. Jack Harrison does really well to come in at that back post. Even though he's not coming with any pace, he still makes Luca Dean have to deal with it, and he gets a corner for his team out of it. And if they can miss Tyrone Mings on this third corner of theirs down this side, then they're in for a chance.
Yeah, 2 previous corners from Ashley Young right onto the head of Tyrone Mings, who just stands away from the 6-yard box centrally inside that 18-yard area for now. 0-0. Ashley Young, right-footed, out-swinging delivery, and it goes onto the head of Tyrone Mings. And then it's met by Gay again, as it was before, who sums it in. Dominic Calvert-Lewin looked offside, tried to get the shot away, had to control it first of all, and then went to ground, but the offside flag is now up, so it will be an Aston Villa free kick. But Ashley Young's got to avoid finding Tyrone Mings.
Yeah, he's a bit of a magnet at the moment, isn't he? I think that's one thing that they do work on, Villa set pieces. They do work on them, and they do give Tyrone Mings a bit of a free role, if you like. He can stand in that middle zone, and anything that comes in that area he's got a free run at. So I think if Everton do want a bit more success from these corners, they're going to have to do something about that, whether it's miss him, whether it's block him. They do need to change that up.
Mings is going to be under pressure here as a risky ball was played back, bouncing into his own penalty area. Now Luca Dean's been penned into the corner by Jack Harrison. He gets out of it, uses Mings. Anana pushes the ball forward up towards the halfway line. Tarkowski steps in ahead of Tielemans. It's just got a little frantic here at Goodison Park. Goalless as it remains, though. There were 3 kickoffs at 7:30. Finally, we've had a goal in one of those games, and Newcastle lead Wolves by a goal to 0. Still Leicester 0, Crystal Palace 0. Alexander Isak's got the goal for Newcastle. He probably didn't need me to tell you that, given his fine form at the moment. Need a goal here. 0-0 on David Moyes' return as Everton manager. Both managers on the touchline at the minute. Calm and composed. A bow of the head from Moyes as he checks his footing and watches on as the ball is on the far side from where he stood at the minute on Everton's left-hand side with their left back of Mikalenko. Pickford well out of his penalty area, just shuffles it to his right-hand side to James Tarkowski. Villa here, half pressing. Now Pickford chooses to go long, spinning the ball with his left boot out towards the near side where Calvert-Lewin and Jack Harrison will try and work something between them. Mings under pressure from Calvert-Lewin. Now Martinez, who just slides it past the foot of Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Mangala steps in and fouls Anana, trying to stretch for the ball inside the Aston Villa penalty area, but that was risky from the visitors.
It was, yeah. You can see Unai Emery applauding it. He seems fairly happy with it. But we seen it last night. We've seen Fulham concede a couple of times from trying to play out, and I just think there's a time and a place, and sometimes you have just got to use your common sense. Just miss a line. It doesn't always have to go to that first line. I think you can miss a line sometimes, and if you give it away in the middle of the pitch, it doesn't really matter. But there's so much risk involved.
Young steps in. Decore's well offside, so Young has to carry the ball centrally from the halfway line up to the midway point of the Aston Villa half. Mikalenko running onto it, in towards Decore, who got a little delicate flick to push that goalwards, and Martinez saves down to his left-hand side. A little bend of the knee, gathers the ball. But that was Everton at their slick finest, 0-0.
Yeah, great bit of play. Ashley Young running with the ball across the field. Well joined by Mikalenko, who plays a lovely ball. Very clever cross. Whenever all the defenders are running back to the goal, he just plays it slightly behind them, and that's when you get the runners from midfield, your Decores, that time their runs so well into the box. Just gets his shot off, makes a good connection, and Martinez deals with it well in the end. It is down the middle of the goal, so it's one you would expect him to save, but good bit of play there from Everton, very promising.
He's done really well there, Decore. Had to sort out his feet quickly. There was a lot of pace on that ball from Mikalenko, and he's just tapped it with the outside of his right boot. Brilliant bit of skill. Didn't come to a goal though. Everton 0, Aston Villa 0 with 7 minutes from half time here on 5 Sports Extra. Arsenal 0, Tottenham 0 in the London derby on 5 Live Sport right now. We will join that for a little short while when we hit half time here at Goodison Park. Pass down the near side from Ashley Young, picked up by Luca Dean, who's charging forward here. Tielemans from the centre circle sends it out to the left hand side for Jacob Ramsey, who moves into the middle. Now Tielemans again, the Belgian, out towards Kamara, far side the right of Aston Villa. Matty Cash now joins this wave of Aston Villa attack, but he's crossing his paw. He's behind everybody. Now Kamara from the edge of the box, smashed down low. Pickford probably should have got hold of that first time, but his parry into the edge of the 6-yard box was cleared away in the end by Jared Branthwaite. Driven shot low by Kamara.
Yeah, good bit of play by Villa. switch the ball well, move it well, good intricate passing. Goes out to Matty Cash, who is floated cross. He's just slightly behind everyone, so it loses momentum with the attack, but breaks to Kamara, who hits a nice shot. And you just want someone following that up there when Pickford spills it. From a Villa perspective, you just want a striker or midfielder just following it up, and you get a tap in.
Aston Villa in possession again, 5 minutes from half time. It is 0-0. Not for the want of trying for both of these sides, who've had a couple of efforts in the last few moments trying to get the advantage heading into the break. Calvert-Lewin's back here doing some defending for his team, but his touch only helps it on to Jacob Ramsey. He can't squeeze it through for Ollie Watkins, and then Tielemans tries to slide it through onto the right hand side of the penalty area. It was behind and ahead of Morgan Rogers, and Matty Cash couldn't get there in time. Still, Everton 0, Aston Villa 0.
Yeah, I do think Villa have been very good up until a certain point, and then it becomes a little bit scrappy. The final pass isn't quite how it should be. The final shot isn't how it should be. The last time it was Matty Cash's cross. This time Yuri Tielemans' pass. It's just a little bit scrappy in that final third, but the build-up play is fantastic. I think Everton have had a couple of spells as well where when they've played quickly and moved the ball quickly, drove with it forward, then that's when they've had their success.
Calvert-Lewin and Tyrone Mings will battle for this long ball played down the inside right channel, long over the top. Tapped out by Ezri Konsa, so that's going to give Everton a throw in, almost level with the corner of the penalty area on this near side there, right. Ashley Young, and the former Aston Villa player, will take it for Everton. Had a couple of spells Villa Park, did Ashley Young, from 2006 to 2011, from 2022 to 2023. Scored on this ground for Everton in a 3-2 win over Aston Villa 16 years ago. Scored in their recent 4-0 win over Wolves as well on this ground. And Everton, through the work of Decore, have won themselves a corner on this near side.
Yeah, Ashley Young will walk over to take it again. But yeah, wonderful professional Ashley Young. Wonderful professional, had a great career. I think he learnt a lot when he went to Manchester United, grew up a lot under Sir Alex Ferguson. And when he went back to Villa, a lot of people that I spoke to that were there at the time said he had really grew into a bit of a leader.
So with his right arm raised, near side the right, outswinging delivery expected. Watch Tyrone Mings. In it goes from Young towards the near post, doesn't even reach Mings. Comes to Jack Harrison, who bends it with the outside of his left boot. That was a strange one. Wasn't really a dangerous ball into the box in the end. Now Luca Dean is being forced out towards this near side touchline, plays it down the line off Mangala, and that gives Aston Villa a throw.
Yeah, done well there, Luca Dean, to get a throw in, but equally by Mangala, good pressing, good pressure on the ball, high up the pitch, trying to keep them boxed in. There's a little bit going on in there with Onana and Mangala as well.
Onana's already been booked. I don't think the referee's going to take any more serious action, but those two not happy with each other. And two midfielders, Decore in the royal blue, Mangala in the royal blue of Everton, and Onana in the claret of Aston Villa. 2 minutes to half time, Everton 0, Aston Villa 0. Still the same scoreline at Leicester and Crystal Palace at the King Power Stadium. Newcastle leading Wolves by 1-0. Later kick-off, the 8 o'clock kick-off, Arsenal 0, Tottenham 0. Tarkowski's header onto the halfway line. Gay heads it forward into the Aston Villa half. Decore got in the way of the long ball forward there from Iliman Ndiaye. Here's Jacob Ramsey for Aston Villa. It's the legs of Gay. It'll run through to Kamara on the right of centre though, and he moves it to the corner of the penalty area for Matty Cash. Laid back, Tielemans had a look into the box, seeing where the runners were of Morgan Rogers and Ollie Watkins to boot, but it's more about the possession for Aston Villa, and Everton are happy that they've been pushed back to the halfway line. Into the final minute we go. Everton 0, Aston Villa 0. Luca Dean, heavy touch. Jack Harrison quickly onto the back of him, and it was fair according to the referee. Now Dominic Calvert-Lewin gives it to Gay. Harrison, corner of the penalty area, right side. Lovely floating in ball, but Dominic Calvert-Lewin needs to get it out of his feet and can't find the route through the goal. The shot was there, but there were just so many bodies in the way in the end. What a chance for Everton right at the end of this first half. The ball just got stuck between his legs, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. He slammed the ball into the ground in the end, and Kamara got it off the line. 0-0 just.
Yeah, goodbye Kamara in the end, just to read the situation.
Here come Villa at the other end. This would be a real sting now. Moving, laid back, looking for Onana on the right-hand side of the penalty area, cleared away.
Good opportunities by both sides there. Great little ball in by Harrison at the one end to Calvert-Lewin, who breaks that offside trap. Just struggled to get it out his feet and get a shot off. Very tame in the end, but like I say, Kamara does really well to read the danger and get back on the line to block the shot. And then up the other end, Watkins goes through, tries to pull back, and again, that's when you want someone just coming onto it. You want Onana in there, you want him reading that, coming onto it, and it's a tap-in.
1 minute of added time here at Goodison Park. David Moyes knew just how close his side was. Dominic Calvert-Lewin's wait for a Premier League goal continues. 15 Premier League games. Here's Rodgers. Oh, he's moving really well onto the edge of the box. Where's the loose ball? Ramsey! Snatched the shot and takes it wide of the left-hand post. It bounced off his chest on the penalty spot. Put everything behind it, but couldn't guide it on target. Still, Everton 0, Aston Villa 0.
Massive chance for Ramsey there. It's all down to the good work of Morgan Rodgers. Superb to drive, commit defenders, get into the box. Anyone touches him, it's a penalty. And then the ball breaks. It's a bit of pinball in there, but the ball breaks to Ramsey. Just takes it on his chest and drags the shot wide, but he'll be bitterly disappointed.
So big chances for both sides heading into half-time as the whistle goes from Sam Barrett, the referee. Dominic Calvert-Lewin on the cusp of added time, and then Jacob Ramsey in added time. Villa started brightly, Everton grew into the game, and it means Mark Albrighton at the break was still without a goal.
Yeah, but as far as 0-0s go, I don't think it's been a bad one at all. There's been chances, there's been opportunities at both ends. There's been a little bit of sloppiness that have resulted in chances, but also little bits of quality as well that's really cut through. Everton, when they're playing fast and getting forward, been brilliant. And Villa just had a couple of opportunities, couple of shots from the edge of the box. So yeah, very good 0-0 so far.
Is it just about tightening up for the second half?
Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, I think both teams can go up a level. If I'm being honest, I think Villa have got another gear to go up, but equally I think Everton have had success when they're putting pressure on, when they're pressing high up the pitch and winning the ball back, forcing mistakes from Villa. So I think both teams have got a level that they can just raise their game to, and I think that's what both managers will be saying at half time.
Such is the nature of the Goodison Park tunnel that it is tight heading into the dressing rooms. There's just a slow filter of backroom staff still making their way to the changing rooms at the break. Who's going to regret not taking the chances the most there? Dominic Calvert-Lewin and Mangala for Everton perhaps, and then we've had certainly one for Jacob Ramsey at the end of the first half there. I think Ollie Watkins had that pass back that he couldn't convert round the goalkeeper.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think Villa will be more disappointed with the opportunity, the number of opportunities that they've had, and fairly good opportunities as well. That one at the end, Ramsey. We've got Watkins one-on-one with Pickford, a couple of shots from the edge of the box with no pressure. You would expect the target to be hit on both occasions, but it hasn't been. They haven't worked Pickford enough. So I think Villa will be more disappointed in terms of that. I think Everton have had a couple of half chances that at the end, a bit unfortunate with the ball not sitting for Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but good that he's getting into positions to score goals, so he knows one will come soon.
We'll be back for the second half. Myself and Mark Albrighton, the former Premier League midfielder, can someone find the clinical finish. Everton 0, Aston Villa 0 at the break. But whilst we've got half-time here, let's take you to North London. Derby night at the Emirates Stadium. Arsenal against Spurs, 0-0 as it stands. Let's join 5 Live Sport.
Been in Arsenal's half, but they are still in the game. Arsenal 0, Tottenham 0. Arsenal struggling to break teams down and score from open play recently. Oh, Kinski, loose touch again, well outside his penalty area. Havertz nearly onto it. Kinski plays it away. Timber is there. Bergvall wins the tackle for Tottenham. Now Jed Spence sees space in front of him. Good speed from Spence. Gets away from Timber, up to the corner of the box. Cross comes in, and it's deflected just wide and behind for the corner. Gabriel got the touch. Solanke was looking to finish it off.
Oh, that's so close there. You're right about Spence. What about the pace there? He just left the defender completely for dead. You're nowhere near him. I think it was Timber who left in his wake there. Put the outside of his right boot on. Brilliant ball in there. Solanke just needs a clean touch on it. And I think Gabriel must have got a little touch.
Oh.
What a beautiful piece of defending.
That is an incredible bit of defending from Gabriel, running back towards his own goal. If he doesn't get a touch on that, Solanke side foots that into the back of the net.
Definite tapping. Very, very simple. Best moment for Spurs by a distance.
That's why this game is so intriguing. Corner for Tottenham, first one of the game. Arsenal haven't quite got it clear. Kulusevski's shot blocked by Raya. Behind it goes for another corner.
That is another phenomenal chance for Spurs. That's two within about 30 seconds of each other. They've had a little part of this game there, but the entire 18-yard line seemed to open up there. Little touch there. I don't think Kulusevski meant it. He's got it on target, so you've got to say, good save for Raya.
Yeah, David Raya, sharp save away to his left. Arsenal 0, Tottenham 0. Another Tottenham corner coming in from the right. This is away to our left. David Raya free to operate inside the 6-yard box again. Ball loose inside the Arsenal box. Sterling lobs it away. Spence is there to control, but he's lost it. Danger for Tottenham now. Sterling immediately looking for Ødegaard. Bissouma alert to the danger, charging back for Tottenham. Got there first. Plays it to Kinski, who just knocks a pass out towards Spence, and Tottenham will start to build.
This is the mayhem we expected. I certainly wanted it at the start of the game. We haven't really been getting it so far, basically because Spurs haven't been involved in the game. But 22 minutes gone, quarter of the game gone. You wonder if it's right, okay, we can start playing a little bit now. We can get involved in the game, try and get forward a wee bit now. Well, that's what Ange Postecoglou will want from his team.
Spence and Bergvall very nearly getting a mess again inside their own half. Bergvall, the 18-year-old Swede, first season at the club, doesn't have the beating of Partey there. Partey immediately infield to Havertz. Havertz lays it off to Sterling on the right. Arsenal fans baying for him to do something positive with the ball. Back it goes to Partey, 25 yards out. Crisply to Ødegaard, wide it comes to Timber. Sterling on the corner of the box, back to goal, immediately plays it back to Timber. Ødegaard again, Ødegaard just opens his body up. Finds Gabriel, Gabriel goes back to his right to Saliba. Ødegaard takes it off him, sees Sterling in space on the right, Sterling with the ball at his feet. Back to Ødegaard again, early cross, floated into the far post, reaches Trossard, knocks the cross down, it doesn't bounce over the head of Kinski. He's able to leap up and grab it.
There's an overload every single time. I mean, they do get their 4 defenders to come in close together. Time and again, wide there is overload. However, here comes Spurs.
Yeah, Pap Sarr has run with the ball unchallenged for about 70 yards. Gets a return pass from Kulusevski, tries to get across him from the byline and wins a corner for Tottenham. I think that's the very definition of end-to-end, Pat.
Yeah, well, this is what we were expecting, kind of hoping for before the game. But Spurs, I say, they've not been able to do it. But coming into the game a little bit more now, they're getting a bit of possession. It's hard for any team to keep that sort of level up for the entirety of the game. You can see it beginning to wilt just a little bit from Arsenal.
Here's Porro from the short corner, gets across him with his right foot. Gabriel up highest, drops to Son on the volley, deflected and in. Son Heung-min delivers with his right foot. David Raya at full stretch couldn't keep it out. Mikel Arteta looks to the heavens in frustration. Arsenal have been well on top in this game, but it's Tottenham who lead in the derby. Arsenal 0, Tottenham 1.
Yeah, to be honest, they were totally and utterly all over Spurs. But the last 2, 3, 4 minutes, maybe a little bit more than that, but not much more than that. There have been those breaks. There was that break. Solanke almost scored. There was a great chance for Kulusevski before that. So they've had 3 very good chances, maybe a tiny little bit of a deflection. When Son plays this through, I think there probably was there. Takes it away from Raya, who can do nothing about it.
Yeah, Son really keeps his composure there. Doesn't try and hit that too hard. Goes through the legs of one of the Arsenal players who are going down in that sort of long barrier position, trying to get the whole right leg down, but it's not fully to the ground. It grazes the knee, and you're right, Pat, it takes it away from David Raya, who might have saved it.
I think he probably would have, even though it was going through the legs, and that's the one thing that the keepers hate more than anything else. However, it just flicked it away from them. And Spurs, a couple of times in the last few months, as I say, they're coming into the game now, and it's that difficulty keeping that level up for the entirety of the game. Arsenal's tiny little dip, Spurs have made the capital out of it.
Liverpool starting the night after their 1-1 draw against Nottingham Forest last night with a 7-point lead over Arsenal. Arsenal now trailing Tottenham here by 1-0. Gloriously unpredictable. As we said, you just do not know what is coming with this Tottenham team. Let's see how this game develops from here. Just over 25 minutes play. Tottenham 1 up. Basuma, left back position for Tottenham. Manages to get away. He's running away from Ødegaard powerfully. Rice is chasing. Still Basuma. Plenty on the pass there forward for Solanke to chase. Saliba's got it covered and just blocks the run of Solanke, who goes tumbling, and it goes behind for the goal kick. Real urgency now about Arsenal to get back on the front foot and get back downfield into the Tottenham half.
You look at the Spurs players, and beforehand they looked a little bit of a sluggishness about them, but you're now beginning to see Basuma. When he takes off, they're not going to catch him. And as we've already spotted, Spence exactly the same. That's what he wants to get. What's the referee going to do here?
Well, there was a foul on Havertz and there's a yellow card given. Havertz was fouled on the halfway line by Archie Gray. Arsenal were thinking about a quick free kick, and it may be that Sarah's got booked for kicking the ball away rather than Gray's been booked for the foul.
He's not arguing about it at all, Sarah. He's walked away, and it's one of the things. A lot of the time people say that's a good booking to take because they would have been breaking. It's not good booking if you get a second yellow card later.
Exactly. Everton 0, Villa 0 half-time. Leicester 0, Palace 0 half-time. Newcastle leading Wolves by 1-0. Rangers 1 up on Aberdeen in the Scottish Premiership. And here Tottenham 1 up in the derby against Arsenal, having lost 6 of their last 8 games against their great rivals. And he only ever won once at this stadium in the Premier League, as we were discussing with Aaron Lennon before the game. Saliba here to Gabriel inside his own half, sees space opening up on the left-hand side. Lewis Skelly, one touch, then delivers that pass to Trossard. Trossard zipping infield, short figure, goes for a side-footed pass with his right foot, can't find a teammate. Tottenham clear for now, but only as far as Gabriel, who's still well inside the Tottenham half. Across it comes to Saliba. Good, accurate pass from Saliba to the right. Just took a second or two for Sterling to control it. Here he is now on the right, running at Spence. He sticks a right foot out, gets a touch on the ball. Gray passes to Spence. There's Son in the left-back position for Tottenham, tries to stab it down the line. Timber blocks it. Tottenham want that to go out for a goal kick, and it has.
Very impressed there by Sterling, who's got 1-on-1 against Spence. So he tries him. You know, gives a little bit of a dummy and tries to do him for pace. No, he's not going to do him for pace there. But that's, you've got to keep on trying that sort of thing. Use the skills that you've got, and eventually, when he overcompensates, you can go inside. And you can see what Ryan's trying to do there.
Kinski chips it forward with his left foot. The Tottenham keeper, who's in vivid purple away to our right. So far, the Tottenham goal intact. Saliba plays to Timber on the right. Arsenal knocking this around inside their own half. Let's check in at Ibrox. Kenny Crawford.
29 minutes gone, Ali. Still Rangers 1, Aberdeen 0, but Aberdeen nearly had a bizarre equaliser. It was Leighton Clarkson, the former Liverpool youth player. He spotted Liam Kelly, the Rangers goalkeeper, off his line from about 50 yards out, went for it and almost scored. The Liam Kelly, former QPR man, just clawed it away in time. It's Rangers 1, Aberdeen 0.
Brilliant skills from Trossard down by the byline. Cross comes into the near post, headed away by Dragusin, only as far as Partey. As the referee stopped the game here. Tottenham player down after Trossard just magicked his way down that byline to get the cross in, and that has stopped the game. The referee, Simon Hooper's decided to stop it because that looks like it's a head injury. But
no, it's not.
No, it's not, is it?
No, he's probably done 2 injuries there, maybe even 3. He's bought the dummy so much. The old classic has to pay to get back in again. But his ankle's given away. He's overstretched. Legs have gone a splay, and his right knee's been stretched as well. He actually must be wondering where to hold just now because he made a complete mess of him there, Trossard. What a dummy. Studs gave way, and by the way, apart from those 3 injuries, you have to add embarrassment on top of it.
Yeah.
Because he was sold completely.
Yeah. Brilliant trickery from the Belgian. Boston against Southend in the National League this evening, I've just been told, has been abandoned because of fog. Leicester against QPR in the FA Cup on Saturday actually came pretty close to that, I think. Swindon against Crewe in League 2 got started. They played a few minutes, stopped until 4 o'clock and then started again and got that game done. Pedro Porro is now back to his feet. Tottenham certainly don't want to lose him because, as I said at the start of the game, he's the only sort of recognised member of the first choice defensive lineup for Tottenham that's fit at the moment. We're getting another look at the Tottenham goal. And the key thing there from Son, Pat, as I'm sure you will tell me, he didn't thrash at that volley, did he? He just thought, I'm going to get this on target, I might get lucky.
There were one or two other opportunities just before that where people were having a lash at it. You don't have a lash at it. There's every chance you're going to get a deflection if you keep it on target. Son has got a bit of experience. He understands these things.
Here's Sterling on the right for Arsenal. We're back underway and the game taking on a similar pattern. Little sort of Tottenham outburst now and again, but they do have that opening.
So welcome back to Goodison Park. If you want the rest of the North London derby first half with Alistair Bruce-Ball and Pat Nevin, you can get that now on 5 Live Sport, also via the BBC Sport website and app this evening. As the players come back out here at Goodison Park, the floodlights shining bright on David Moyes' return. Nothing to celebrate just yet, 0-0 at the break, but who knows what the second half will have in store. Aston Villa, their opponents, will know. They certainly missed some big chances in that first half to maybe quieten down and spoil the Everton party. No changes at the break by either side as Yuri Tillemans gets us underway for the second half. Everton, the home side, on the chase of the ball with a lot of intent early on from the press of Decore and Dominic Calvert-Lewin. They're in their royal blue shirts, white shorts and white socks this evening, going from right to left in the second half, attacking the Gladys Street end. The two-tiered stand away to our left-hand side with the pillars supporting the roof, if you know Goodison Park. Aston Villa, predominantly claret shirts with the sky blue sleeves, the claret shorts and the claret socks are from left to right, attacking the Sir Philip Carter Park stand, single-tiered stand, and fans still filtering in from the concourse, having had their half-time refreshments. The Villa fans occupy the final third of the stand on the far side, from the corner up to the midway point of their own half. Get a couple of tiers, again another stand supported by white pillars up to the metal stanchions that hold the roof up. A traditional old ground that will only be Everton's until the end of the season, we suspect. Then they're off to Bramley Moor Dock. In goes an Aston Villa free kick from the far side, needs Mikolenko to head it on out towards this near side, and despite his best efforts of trying to get there, Iliman Ndiaye can't quite, and that gives Aston Villa a throw in 5 yards or so from the byline, near side there right. The former Premier League midfielder Mark Albrighton alongside me for commentary on 5 Sports Extra this evening, and it just needs the final clinical touch from both sides.
It does, yeah. I think both teams will have come out and they'll know that the game's there for them. Villa are not at their best, but they've also had chances to be in front in this game, but I wouldn't say they're at their best by any means.
Matty Cash, long throw from the right hand side, it's bouncing around and then it's hooked on the turn by Jacob Ramsey. A little bit acrobatic, a little bit ambitious, he had to do something there. Spinning on the turn, ball at chest height, sends it wide of the left hand post. 0-0.
Yeah, another chance for Ramsey. Bit of a half chance this one. He does have a knack for being in the right place at the right time. Good midfielder, times his movements well, and the ball does drop to him in some good areas. That was more of a half chance. He was on the swivel, left foot just wide of the mark.
Certainly missed a bigger opportunity. Oh, mess at the back from Aston Villa. Tyrone Mings and Calvert-Lewin collide as they're both tracking towards the edge of the 18-yard box, watching the long ball. And Martinez gathers. Yeah, big chance at the end of the first half for Jacob Ramsey. That one less so, as Mark Albrighton was saying. Boubacar Kamara goes down. Little foul by Mangala, so that gives Aston Villa a reprieve, a free kick. 3 minutes gone in the second half. Kamara sends it long. We're still goalless. That's a sloppy free kick from Kamara, wasted. And Pickford gathers. I think some Villa fans thought that Pickford had gathered that outside his box, but nobody else interested.
No, I thought he was in control of that, but like you say, a bit of a wasted free kick, bit rushed.
Down the line it goes and out of play. from Mikalenko. He can't find Innerman and Dye. Rangers a little bit off from all players out there at the start of the second half. It's been quite a sloppy beginning.
Yeah, it has. I think the first half was a little bit like that as well. There was bits of quality at times from both teams, but on the whole there was a couple of mistakes that led to chances, and just a little bit scrappy in general.
Villa on the edge of the Everton penalty area here with Onana trying to put it on through for Ramsey. Pickford quickly off his goal line, edge of the 6-yard box, diving low, sliding along the ground, and then tries to instantly release it to get Dominic Calvert-Lewin up the field. Tyrone Mings steps across, Aston Villa back in possession.
Yeah, I thought it was a good pass there from Onana through to Ramsey. I thought he was gonna play it wide to Digne, but he chooses to go inside, and it's Ramsey on the half turn again, and Pickford had to time that to perfection to take the ball off Jacob Ramsey's feet, and he did that superbly. Did it absolutely superbly. Took the ball, came out with it, very commanding.
Luca Dean, another one of those players who has a link between both clubs, ex-Everton man. Ashley Young playing for Everton tonight is a former Villa player. Onana and Dean in the Villa side. Both once wore the blue of Everton. Everton have gone with Pickford in goal tonight, Young, Tarkowski, Branthwaite and Mikalenko as the back four. Mangala and Gay in midfield, with Harrison, Decore and Dye sitting just behind Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Martinez is the Aston Villa goalkeeper. Cash, Conser, Mings and Dean their back line. Kamara and Onana the holding midfielders. In front of them Ramsey, Tielemans and Rodgers, with Ollie Watkins up front. Now the press comes from Everton on the edge of the Aston Villa penalty area, and Kamara and Conser have to sort this out between them. Decore and Gay on this near side. Everton's left trying to restrict the movement forward of Aston Villa. Branthwaite steps in, then Tielemans tries to hook his foot round the ball, and it's Aston Villa who can break away with Rodgers putting through. Ollie Watkins, who this time slides it home to give Aston Villa the lead 5 minutes into the second half. A blunt on the David Moyes party as Ollie Watkins puts Aston Villa in front, runs over to the far side to celebrate with the Aston Villa fans, and it's the visitors who lead Everton by a goal to nil.
Yeah, it's unfortunate from an Everton point of view, I must say. They do so well at the other end, putting pressure on high up the pitch, not letting Villa play out. They think they've got it, they think they've worked them into a corner, and it's a ricochet that then breaks to Morgan Rodgers, and this goal is all about Morgan Rodgers. He's passed through to Ollie Watkins. It's absolutely superb. He gets it as close to Tarkowski as possible to make sure it's in a central position for Ollie Watkins to run onto, and Ollie Watkins does the rest. He missed one in the first half, he weren't going to miss a second. He does it so often, takes a couple of chances, but he does always create them chances. He always gets in the position, and he scores sooner rather than later, and it's a great finish in the end, and it's fantastic for them away fans.
First time finish from the edge of the penalty area under the legs of Jordan Pickford, rolls it home, and it's Ollie Watkins' 9th Premier League goal of the season, his 3rd in 5 visits to Goodison Park, and for Morgan Rodgers it is a 4th assist of the campaign. Now referee's got a little sorting out to do here. Everton have gone on the attack, and they have it's a two-footed lunge from Idrissa Gana Gueye, and it had a shot, hit Kamara, the ball came back to Idrissa Gana Gueye, who's then lunged at Kamara and picked up a yellow card for his troubles.
Yeah, it's not a nice tackle, it is a lunge. I think his argument is he does get the ball first, and it takes him through then onto Kamara. I think Kamara does well to just evade it slightly, just goes over the top of him slightly, but I think the referee's got that spot on. I don't think it's any more than a yellow card, but as soon as you lunge into a tackle, you do risk giving a foul away, and even more consequence.
Aston Villa, who haven't won in their last 5 Premier League away games, lead at Goodison Park by a goal to nil on 5 Sports Extra. That was the voice of the former Premier League midfielder Mark Albrighton, as Martinez inside his 6-yard box just clips it over Dominic Calvert-Lewin, who was sliding in. Any touch from the Everton striker, that's 1-1.
Emi Martinez does fantastically well there to lift that ball over Calvert-Lewin. and I think that's one thing we've noticed.
Well, it's boiled over here. Everton have now been given a free kick for a late, almost off the ball challenge by Amadou Onana, and they'll want another yellow card here for the pull down on Mangala, I think it was. Those two had to come in together at the end of the first half, and Onana's already on a yellow card.
Yeah, I think he's lucky there. He's very lucky. I think he's treading very carefully now, or he's going to have to in the remainder of this game. But I think Mangala does go down easy, but needless to say, Onana on a booking, you can't get too close, you can't put your hands on the back of a midfielder, especially when he's got space to run into and attack the back line. As soon as he does that, he's risking a yellow card, and with him already been booked, he's very close to a red.
And his left arm on the shoulder, his left hand on the shoulder of the Everton midfielder as he was trying to break away. And a couple of goals to tell you about. We'll do that in a minute, actually, because here's Ndiaye, left-footed cross, headed over and behind by Tyrone Mings inside the 6-yard box, and Goodison Park now's got a real raucous feel about it.
Yeah, it has. There's a bite to it now. I think Everton started really well on the front foot. They were pressing. Calvert-Lewin's not giving them centre-halves and the goalkeeper a minute to breathe. There's lots of pressure going on. A couple of tackles flying in. Everton are really getting these fans going now, and you can hear that.
Everton chasing an equaliser. Arsenal have their equaliser. Gabriel has scored. Arsenal 1, Tottenham 1 at the Emirates Stadium. And Leicester City are behind against Crystal Palace by 1-0. Mateta with the goal there. Here at Goodison Park, Everton trail 1-0 10 minutes into the second half. Corner, which Ashley Young will take from the near side left, right-footed, in-swinging delivery into the middle of the 6-yard box. There is all sorts of pulling and pushing going on, and the Everton fans on their feet behind the goal to our left-hand side, remonstrating with the referee. It should be more than that. An Aston Villa player has stayed down in the box in the aftermath of that corner. And the referee, Sam Barrett's just got to bring a little bit of control here. Conser is the man down.
Yeah, difficult one for the referee. It's situations like this that I do feel for him a little bit. There's so much going on in that box. There's shirt pulling, there's arms round heads, there's all sorts going on in there. Martinez does very well to come and claim it in the end and just slow things down, but difficult one for the referee to deal with.
Conser now up before the medics came on, so he can stay on the field. 11 minutes played in this second half. Then Everton 0, Aston Villa 1. Everton, who haven't beaten Villa in their last 11 Premier League games. Only Southampton have won fewer games than Everton this course. Everton only have 3 victories to their name. Only Southampton have scored fewer goals than Everton. 12-15 in that count. They're going to have to find a 16th one of the season here, Everton, and quickly. Tarkowski heads it away inside the penalty area. Rodgers is there on the rebound. Now it's Kamara to head it forward to Watkins. Away by Everton. Kamara hooks it into his own half. Conser back on his feet. He's able to take his time. Instead of going back to Martinez, he goes out to the near side, right for Matty Cash. Now Ndiaye on the halfway line as Everton win it back. Here's Gay into the edge of the centre circle. Everton 0, Aston Villa 1. Mikalenko, 5 Live Sports Extra Live from Goodison Park. A reminder, if you want to listen to either of those other 2 games that kicked off at 7:30 into the second half, then Leicester City 0, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle 1, Wolves 0. They're both available for you tonight on the BBC Sport website. And now Arsenal 1, Tottenham, Arsenal 2, Tottenham 1 now. Quick turnaround at the end of the first half for the Gunners. Leandro Trossard has scored to give them a 2-1 lead as they head toward the break. Commentary of that on 5 Live Sport now, and also via the BBC Sport website and app this evening. Ndiaye and Rodgers all over the backs of each other, but Ndiaye emerges with the ball, and now Mangala can poke it out towards the right hand side. Ashley Young looked forward, he didn't really have the option, so he goes back to his defence of James Tarkowski and Jared Branthwaite. Jesper Lindstrom's going to come on here, getting a word in his ear from his new manager, David Moyes. Lindstrom, who is on loan from Napoli, will have been used to the gravelly tones of Sean Dyche during his time. Now he's going to get the Scottish whispers of David Moyes this evening. Mikalenko pushed over, was he by Morgan Rogers? Yes, free kick.
Yeah, you can't fault either team and their players for the way they're battling out there. They're not giving anything up. There's scrappy duels all over the park. Morgan Rogers and Dye, they're scrapping for the ball. They're trying to come out victorious in the duels. It is scrapping. I think this suits Everton more, if I'm being perfectly honest. I think it gets the crowd up, it gets the atmosphere going. I think it does suit them, but also Villa will be a threat on the break, and I think the game's calling out for someone just to put their foot on it and just slow it all down and just take control of it, and that's not happened in this second half so far.
Jack Harrison, the man replaced by Jesper Lindstrom, the Dane, wearing number 29 on the back of his royal blue Everton shirt this evening. Cash with the throw in on the near side right for Aston Villa, 10 yards or so inside his own half. Tarkowski charges towards the ball, stoops his head under it, sends it back into Aston Villa territory. And Ramsey tries to win it, pumped forward. And Luca Dean floats straight on through for Jordan Pickford to gather inside his 18-yard box. Everton 0, Aston Villa 1, approaching the hour mark. It's like for like with Lindstrom going over to that right-hand side. Didn't get a lot of fortune with Jack Harrison in the opening hour, Everton.
No, they didn't. I think that was a change. It was probably close between who started out the two of them before the game, but not much come down that right-hand side with Harrison, so they'll be looking for a bit of a change there. But I think one thing I've noticed early in this second half, Calvert-Lewin been a lot more forceful with his press, and he's been backed up there from Decore, from Ndai, and they are pressing in numbers, and they're getting success from it. They're forcing Villa into mistakes and making it scrappy.
Down the left-hand side come Everton. Alexander Isak has scored again, so it's Newcastle 2, Wolves 0. Here's Ndai to Decore, left-hand side, low cross in. Kamara slides in, and it's going to be an Everton corner in front of the Gladys Street end.
Yeah, a lot of corners. Everton had a few in the first half, had a couple already in the second half. They'll be looking to make one count. The big lads, the centre halves, are coming forward. Tarkowski, Braithwaite, they're making the way forward. They've got Calvert-Lewin up there, Decore. So they've got the height, they've got the physical presence.
So corner near side. Ashley Young takes it, right-footed, swung in. Oh, there was a big chance for a header. Braithwaite, was it? Either way, it was an Everton player at the back post with a big chance for a header. Now they're appealing for the penalty. I think it was Lindstrom actually, the substitute, from the left of the 6-yard box, and he went down, couldn't get his head on it, and decision here for Sam Barrett, the referee. VAR Paul Turney to have a look at that, and Dominic Calvert-Lewin's been claimed he's hauled down as well. What do you make of all that, Mark Albrighton?
Yeah, there's a risky one there on Calvert-Lewin by Tielemans. He's dragging him down by his neck, if you like. I don't think there's too much in the push to Lindstrom at the back post, but if there is a foul in there, it's definitely on Calvert-Lewin.
Well, no penalty given as play continues at Goodison Park. Everton 0, Aston Villa 1. 5 Sports Extra this evening for you. Martinez curls it out towards this near side. Antti Cash just wanted to send that on towards the halfway line. Everton riding a little crest of a frustrated wave at the minute. Well, a little break in play. Aston Villa might just choose to slow it down here. They've got a free kick.
Yeah, they decide to take it quick, and they're out the other side fast. But I think again, I talk about Calvert-Lewin's pressing, and when you're pressing as a team, you can really unsettle the opposition, and it's always a case of pressing from the front. He sets the tempo of it all. He's the one that makes the run to Mings. Mings has to play it back to Martinez, who's then forced into playing a pass to Matty Cash that's sort of high in the air and bouncing a little bit, and it's not under control, and and that's when Ndiaye wins the ball back, and that's where the duels start happening. But so it all starts from Calvert-Lewin, and he started this second half really well and really on the front foot.
It is now half-time in the North London derby. Arsenal 2, Tottenham 1. Here come Villa down the left-hand side, looking for Watkins in the middle. Oh, Pickford's made a mess of that catch. Spoons it behind for an Aston Villa corner on the far side left. Really from nothing, that situation, it looked comfortable for Everton and England's number 1.
Yeah, poor ball in by Luca Dean, and then a shanked clearance by Tarkowski, and Pickford trying to prevent it going out for the corner, and he just fumbles it a little bit and can't prevent that. So another corner for Aston Villa, and a bit of respite from where they've been stuck back in their final third. Bit of respite now, and they get the corner and an opportunity for their big lads to come up.
If I'm being kind to Jordan Pickford, I think it might have just gone out of play as he tried to catch it from the slice of James Tarkowski. It might have been on the byline, in which case, either way, no doubt it is a corner. Whether it was over from Tarkowski or whether it was the slipped catch of Jordan Pickford. Corner on the far side to Aston Villa. Here's Rodgers, sends it in, headed away from Tarkowski. And out towards the far side it goes. Everton will have a throw in deep inside their own half on the far side. They're right in front of the Aston Villa fans is Ashley Young, who gets a warm applause actually from the Villa fans that stand just behind him. He holds the ball in his right palm for now. So elsewhere, Leicester 0, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle 2, Wolves 0. One game in the Championship tonight, by the way, that's going on right now, 7:45 kick-off. Blackburn against Portsmouth, that is 0-0. Everton here with a 0 next to their own name. They trail Aston Villa by 1 goal. Mings intercepts the ball that comes down the far side from Everton's attack. So Aston Villa back in possession. Jacob Ramsey just easily manoeuvres past Decore. Now he's trying to break away from Mangala. He makes a fair challenge.
Yeah, good defending by Mangala. Jacob Ramsey went down looking for the free kick. He felt an arm on his shoulder, but I think he's used his body well there, Mangala, and just manages to come away with the ball. But sloppy again by Everton when they win it back, and they just give it straight back to Villa, and it's an opportunity for Villa to slow the play down.
Villa in the middle of their own half with Tielemans, rolls it forward. Nice play from Ramsey. Before it reaches Anti-Cash on this near side, Mikalenko is able to intercept. Now up towards the halfway point. As we get closer to the halfway point of this second half, Kamara's down, and there is increasing frustration from the Everton fans here at Goodison Park, who think the Villa players are buying for time and going down a little too easily.
Yeah, I think it's quite clever from Kamara, to be honest. I think he's got his body there, he's felt the touch, and he's gone down, and 9 times out of 10 they get given. So I don't think there can be too many complaints with that one. Like I say, clever play by Kamara.
Interestingly, with Newcastle scoring that second against Wolves, it now puts Wolves back in the relegation zone. It lifts Ipswich up, who don't play until tomorrow night when they host Brighton. Ipswich out the relegation zone on goal difference as it stands. Everton 16th as it stands with this 1-0 scoreline against them. 17 points, only a point off the bottom 3. Aston Villa up to 7th, level on points with Manchester City. But behind them on goal difference, Villa still have a negative goal difference, -1. Another goal for them would get them at the break-even point. Newcastle up to 4th with that 2-0 scoreline over Wolves. Arsenal would move into 2nd above Nottingham Forest, who drew with Liverpool last night, and Arsenal would just be 4 points behind Liverpool. Although the Merseysiders would still have that game in hand that is to be played here against Everton. Another foul, another free kick against Everton in the middle of the park once more.
Yeah, Everton are making lots of tackles. They're trying to be forceful. They're trying to really get stuck into Villa and unsettle them, which is totally the right thing to do. The referee's not letting too much go, so I think they have got to be careful. They have got to recognise that and just probably take it a bit easier in their duels and in their tackles, because it just gives Villa a chance to dictate the pace of the game.
How big a job has David Moyes got on his hands to keep Everton out of relegation?
I think it's certainly a big job, as managers previously have found out that have been been at the helm of this club, but I think it's a doable one. I do think it's a doable one. There's teams down there that aren't playing as well as Everton, and I look at Everton tonight and the way that they're pressing, the way that they are organised. But I think this is against a good Villa team, an organised Villa team, one that's had success. So it was never going to be an easy game, but the way that they're working for one another, they've created a couple of chances themselves. So I think they will have enough, in my opinion. I think David Moyes was a good appointment. I think the right appointment at this stage that they're at. So look, it's early days into his reign, but I only see him getting better and improving with confidence.
Lifted over the top by Rodgers. Watkins is on the chase. He has the support of Ramsey with him. He just nudges it on to Ramsey, left of the penalty area. He's going to be shepherded out of the box by Ashley Young in a little bit of good experience defending from the 38-year-old. But Villa get it in again. Left-hand side looking for Watkins. Low ball. Branthwaite sends it high and away out towards the far side. It bounces once before the touchline. Tielemans with a lovely bit of touch to drag it back in field. Tangles with Ashley Young. Everton free kick. Everton here still trailing Aston Villa by 1-0.
Yeah, good play by Villa down that left-hand side. A little bit of an interchange between Luca Dean and Yuri Tielemans. Tielemans with the chip ball over to the byline. Luca Dean plays one across the face of the goal, and the Everton defender was there to clear it in front of Ollie Watkins, but good little bit of play, and then Ashley Young comes away and goes down, gets the free kick, and it settles everything down.
David Moyes' last game as Everton manager at home to Aston Villa was a 3-3 draw. It needed a 93rd minute equaliser from Marouane Fellaini. Villa led 3-1 in that match. In fact, Fellaini scored both of the comeback goals for Everton. His first game against Aston Villa at Goodison Park was April 2003. Second half goals from Kevin Campbell, the late Kevin Campbell, and one young Wayne Rooney in the 89th minute. It could happen again. Everton fans certainly want it to happen again. But right now they're behind by 1-0. Calvert-Lewin, head tennis on his own really, out on that far right hand side. Luca Dean sends it long, high in the air. Tarkowski had to control it over his shoulder and then react quickly because Watkins was trying to pounce behind him. He does just about enough to see that into his own penalty area for Jordan Pickford.
Does really well there in the end, James Tarkowski, because the ball from Luca Dean down into the channel, it's high, it's bouncing, it's a difficult one for a centre-back to deal with, and Ollie Watkins chasing him down, giving him no time at all, so his second touch is crucial there, and he just manages to poke it away out of the danger. But it little balls like that are down the side, and Ollie Watkins, a bit like Calvert-Lewin really, will chase them all day. They'll chase them all day and cause problems from them. So for both sides, it's definitely a tool that can be used.
Everton chasing an equaliser. There's Branthwaite on the halfway line, left-hand side, near side for Everton in their blue shirts. They are right to left in the second half. Mikalenko just trying to roll it on through for Iliman Ndiaye a little bit lazily. And that's just why you heard the Everton fans get their backs up a little bit. Mangala sweeps it low out towards the right-hand side for Ashley Young. Jesper Lindstrom takes control. Now back to the halfway line for Tarkowski. Keep ball for Everton at the minute. The assistants of David Moyes have a word in his ear. I noticed he called Leighton Baines up a moment ago to see what he suggests. If anybody knows Everton, it'll be Leighton Baines in the decade that David Moyes has been away. Mangala, Lindstrom, Ashley Young right-hand side for Everton. It's patient, it has to be. Villa have got a line of about 7 players on the edge of their 18-yard box in this little moment that Everton are trying to find and wait for that moment to get a gap that they can exploit. Tarkowski, the centre-back, midway inside the Aston Villa half. Here's Ndiaye, trying to turn in field, then goes out towards the left-hand side, really forcing the ball through with Matty Cash. What have Everton got here? They've got a corner.
Yeah, that's one that could have gone either way. It could have been a free kick to Everton. It could have been a free kick to Villa, or it could have played on and as it happens goes out for a corner. But you can hear the fans and when there's sloppy passes, they're getting frustrated, and that's because they know that there can be something here for them. Villa aren't at their very best, so there is a result here for Everton if they can take it to that next gear.
So near side to left, Ashley Young, 2 arms raised in the air. That's a signal to those in the penalty area as to what's going to happen on this corner. Right-footed, in-swinging delivery. Oh, Martinez was crowded out. Where's the loose ball falling to? Branthwaite, and now Ndiaye, and somehow Villa have seen that away. Martinez was crowded out, fairly so, but Everton just couldn't get the ball to settle right where they wanted it to. From Villa's clearance, the home side back in control. Gay flicks it out to the left-hand side. Ashley Young in between box and touchline. A little flick to the right, little dart to the left, then the crossing that takes a deflection. And the ball has carried itself back out towards this near side. That pillar is providing a crucial block to our vision right now. Mark Albright, good luck trying to figure out what went on in the melee in the penalty area.
Yeah, I'm going to have a sore neck in the morning going either side of that pillar, I must say. But again, it's a set piece in a corner that causes all sorts of problems. Lots of pushing and pulling going on in the box. Decore positioned himself up against Martinez, which made it difficult for the Villa goalkeeper to come out and claim.
Long ball drifting out towards the right-hand side. Lindstrom and Dean out towards that corner, and Lindstrom went over the back of Dean and gives Aston Villa a free kick.
Yeah, well, I noticed a couple of minutes ago when Branthwaite had the ball sort of in this half left back position, and Calvert-Lewin was pulling off the shoulder of Tyrone Mings looking for the diagonal pass that never really come. So Garner Gay has spotted that this time over to Lindstrom. He's tried to hit the diagonal, but good play from Luca Dean, good defending, puts himself in between the ball and the man and feels the contact and goes down. We've seen a lot of that today, a lot of sort of buying free kicks if you like, but it's clever. The referee's giving them, so I think in situations like that, when you're in your own final third, it's definitely one that you need to utilise.
Blackburn have just taken the lead in the Championship. They're taking on Portsmouth tonight. Blackburn 1, Portsmouth 0. Quarter of an hour to go here, and it's the away side that lead by a goal to nil at Goodison Park. Elsewhere in the Premier League, Leicester 0, Crystal Palace 1, Newcastle 2, Wolves 0. They're the other two 7:30 kickoffs. The 8 o'clock kickoff, the North London derby, which you can hear on 5 Live Sport. Arsenal 2, Tottenham 1 at the break. You can watch all the highlights tonight. Match of the day, 10:40. Alan Shearer and Micah Richards as the pundits watching on. Is Decore and Ndiaye trying to play the reverse pass to Dominic Calvert-Lewin. Didn't work. He's still got hold of the ball though. Out to the left-hand side for Mykolenko. That's the near of Everton in this second half, with an Unai Emery watching on just further down the touchline, pointing left index finger, telling his players perhaps where to be and who to watch and who to mark. Mangala for Everton. Turns infield, uses Gay, but it's passes stopping to Decore, and it allows Villa to get the ball up to the halfway line. They're not necessarily attacking with a lot of intensity, and they don't have to. They lead by a goal to nil. Ball back with Mings and now Konza.
Yeah, again, that's a big feature of Villa's play. They've got players, they have got fast players to be able to counter-attack, but on a lot of occasions when they win it back, especially in the position they're in, it's game management. 1-0 up away from home, 15 or so minutes to go, and it's about keeping possession and slowing the pace of the game down, because it is getting a little bit frantic, and like I say, that will suit Everton more than it will Villa.
And the ball's gone out here for an Everton goal kick. Still a little bit of afters between the players. Jordan Pickford wasn't happy with something there. Luca Dean, the alleged offender. Pickford, low ball from the left foot. It just dissects Watkins and Tielemans. Everton have played it back into own penalty area, and Pickford will have to do the same again. The press is intense from Aston Villa, and now Pickford just decides to get rid up towards the halfway line with a long ball, because Everton were slowly being outnumbered by Aston Villa players there, trying to mark each man in and around the penalty area. Ashley Young can't clear it very well from the far right hand side. Everton 0, Aston Villa 1. Wolves have scored a third Newcastle have scored a third against Wolves at St James's Park. So you can get the updates of that. You can Keep up to date with all the goals as they go in from the Premier League with 5 live final score on the iPlayer, the BBC Sport app and the red button this evening. Midweek football available for you across the network. Calvert-Lewin fouls Boubacar Kamara. He buys Aston Villa a little bit more time. They are back underway as well in the North London derby. Arsenal 2, Tottenham 1. Free kick Villa taken short, here's Tielemans.
Yeah, just looking back at that passage of play in Everton's final third there, with Pickford playing the ball out into midfield to Gana Gay to Mikalenko, and a very intricate passing. And from a neutral point of view, it's entertaining to watch. There could be a mistake at any time, there could be a chance, but I can see why it worries this Everton crowd, because it doesn't look steady at all. It does look quite nervous. It does look quite close to the bone at times, and like I say, a mistake can happen at any time. So if Villa were to get a second from that and kill the game off there, it would be very frustrating.
Mikalenko, poor control, goes out for an Aston Villa corner. Talking about the North London derby, the North London derby teams, Arsenal and Tottenham, actually split up to face these two at the weekend. It doesn't get easy for Aston Villa. They've got to go to the Emirates on Saturday at 5:30, and then they're back in Champions League action. They're away at Monaco next Tuesday. And the games come thick and fast, but that's the price you pay for success.
Yeah, they've had a little break from the European action and the Champions League football, but the domestic schedule has been very hectic and made up for them games. But it's a competition that they've done really well in so far this season, so they'll be looking to carry that on, carry that form on in Europe, and try and get over the line and get to the next stage of that. They've done ever so well to get into the position that they're in.
They're currently sat inside that top 8. And they will want to avoid having to play 2 extra games if they finish in the middle 16. Everton have Tottenham at home at the weekend. That's another tough game for David Moyes. Then they've got to go to Brighton on the horizon in February. Perhaps a winnable game at home to Leicester. And talking of Leicester, Mark Gay has put Crystal Palace 2-0 up at the King Power Stadium. So it's further trouble for Ruud van Nistelrooy. Here for Aston Villa with 10 minutes to go and leading by a goal to 0. They're going to make a change. Jacob Ramsey is going to be replaced by Emiliano Buendia, who makes his 11th Premier League appearance of the season and his 11th Premier League appearance this season from the bench.
Yeah, I really like Buendia as a player. He had a really good season a couple of years back, and then just got a really nasty injury which set him back. Worked hard to get back, but probably hasn't got a good enough run in the team now to be able to stake his claim for a starting place. But he's got 10 or so minutes here to try and make an impact in the game. He is an impact player. He will look to make things happen in a short space of time that he comes on. But it's the injury's definitely set him back in his Villa career.
2 players also familiar with the bench and coming on from the subs. Beto about to come on for Everton. That'll be his 12th appearance from the bench this season. And Jake O'Brien, who signed from Lyon, he's going to get his 3rd Premier League appearance. And that also makes it 3 out of 3 from the bench for him. Little over 8 minutes remaining. No goals in this second half. It was Aston Villa. Sorry, 1 goal in this second half. It was Aston Villa who have it, with Ollie Watkins scoring pretty early on. Everton have had the best part of 40 minutes to find a reply. Martinez had that one iffy moment from a corner, but I don't think he's had too much to do apart from that. Maybe he will now, because Calvert-Lewin has been sent down the right-hand side. Tyrone Mings goes across with him. Played back to Lindstrom, centrally now for Aston Villa, who move it to the left corner of the penalty area. Mikalenko, first time ball in, and with a little skip in the air, it is sent behind by Konza for an Everton corner.
Yeah, good play all round. The ball down to Calvert-Lewin, the defending from Tyrone Mings to get across quick and force Calvert-Lewin back. Everton recycling, get the ball out to Mikalenko, who's got a lovely left foot. You see his delivery very often, creates chances, creates chaos with the balls that he puts gets in, and then good defending there by Adrian Conte, good positioning to be able to clear the ball. But another corner for Everton, another chance to get some bodies forward.
That's a corner that Ashley Young won't take. He's been replaced by Jacob O'Brien. Decore is off as well for Beto. So the big men are on for Everton, particularly from an attacking sense. They've now got Calvert-Lewin and Beto on the field. Corner taken by Lindstrom near side, headed away in the heart of the penalty area by Onana. Comes out to Gay. Here's Lindstrom, the corner taker. He's right-footed. He'll have to shift it infield, but he evades and dies with a stretch of the leg. Couldn't get there. Now can Villa get on the counter-attack to try and seal a win here with a second goal. Not to be. Kamara slows it all down. Here's Tielemans. Kamara's now gone for a run down the left-hand side. This is Morgan Rogers of Aston Villa. Goes out of play. Everton throwing midway inside their own half. Mark Albrighton.
Yeah, again the ball breaks to Villa in a promising counter-attacking position, but they choose not to. They choose to just keep possession of the ball, be a bit more patient and work their way forward with a couple of passes and slow the game down a little bit there. They know the state of the game. On this occasion, Morgan Rogers just loses out on the tackle and the ball goes out of play for a throw into Everton, but you can see what they're trying to do. They try and pass their way through this Everton team instead of breaking and turn it into a basketball game.
6 minutes left. Everton 0, Aston Villa 1. Wolves have scored at St James's Park. They're still 3-1 down as it stands, and VAR is checking that goal. In fact, VAR has just chalked off that goal for Santiago Bueno. Volley ball cushioned by Buendia. Will go nowhere near Ollie Watkins. It runs on through for Jordan Pickford. So Everton here chasing an equaliser. Here is Gay. Oh, it's a heavy touch. It just invited Morgan Rogers to make the foul and make the challenge, which he did at first. Then the ball bounced back to Gay, and on the second attempt Rogers has made the foul. So Everton here might just take their time and see what they can do. Little darting run made by Ndiaye that isn't picked up. They are going to reset. They're going to try and float this one in. Villa will set their line defensively.
Yeah, I think that's the right thing to do. I think you've got to look at your strengths. You've got the centre halves coming forward. It's a chance to put the ball in the box. Mikalenko's got a good delivery, so it's a chance.
Mikalenko, left-footed, swings it to the far side of the penalty area, looking for Tarkowski, who was backpedalling, can only head it upwards rather than with a direction. Lindstrom with the volley onto the edge of the penalty area. Game of head tennis at the minute as it comes out towards this near side. Everton 0, Aston Villa 1 with 5 minutes to go. Can David Moyes do what he so commonly has against Aston Villa in his managerial career? 18 home games, 9 of them have been draws. Everton will take a precious point now. Blackburn have doubled their lead at home to Portsmouth. They lead 2-0 now at Ewood Park. Latest elsewhere in the Premier League: Leicester City 0, Crystal Palace 2, Wolves 3. Newcastle 3, Wolves 0. The attendance is given at 39,000 inside Goodison Park. That will increase when they move to Bramley Moordock in a few months' time. A stadium that's getting prepped each and every day for Everton to start. What they'll want to do is make sure they start that new stadium's life in the Premier League.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that's the reason that they've made the appointment of David Moyes. They don't want to take any chances. They know his record. They know how well he's done at this football club. He's a lot more experience now, especially in this league. He's got a lot more games under his belt as a Premier League manager. So it's certainly something that they'll be looking to do.
Everton trying to get on the break down the right hand side. Good recovery run by Onana, who I think's just taken a little nick in doing so. And he was on the chase with Beto, and despite Beto having the fresh legs, Onana looked like he was the substitute on.
Yeah, what I will say is Onana's done fantastically well after being booked so early on in the game. He was always going to be walking a tightrope for the rest of the game, but he's done fantastically well. He's not let it bother him. It's not let him affect his performance. It's been close a couple of times with a couple of challenges, but even on that occasion there, he does so well just to use his timing to be able to win the ball back.
Well, in his first spell as Everton manager, it was a late Wayne Rooney winner in his first game. It was a late Marouane Fellaini equaliser in his last game against Aston Villa as Everton boss. Is it going to happen again for David Moyes, or are Aston Villa going to get a first away win in 5 matches on the road in the Premier League? It could be a big 3 points for the visitors, who've now got Luca Dean coming down the left-hand side. Recovery challenge. Sliding in was Jesper Lindstrom in front of those Aston Villa fans, and gives them a throw-in, which they will be in no rush to take. 2 minutes to go of normal time. Everton 0, Aston Villa 1.
Yeah, again, scrappy in the middle of the park, tackles everywhere, tackles flying in, people desperate to come out with a ball, and it's actually a tackle that switches the play over to Luca Dean, who takes a great touch and wins the throw, and chance for Villa to just kill a little bit of time over in that corner.
Which they have done, but that's now turned into an Everton throw-in, which they launched down the far side touchline. Everton's right, Lindstrom then heads it on. Beto trying to make himself a nuisance. Watkins goes for a little run on the long ball forward. Everton have another throw-in, 10 yards from their own byline, far side. It's so deep inside their own half, they need to get it to the other end, but Villa have played it well. In fact, they've won a free kick now with Luca Dean going down.
Yeah, it's all about game management. It's all about recognising the state of the game, the clock, the score, away from home, and it's something that they've done very well in these last sort of 5 minutes or so, just to try and kill the game, slow it down, keep it in areas that are hard for Everton to get out of, and they'll need to continue to do that for the remainder of the game. They've got some experienced players out there that will dictate that happening, but frustrating from an Everton point of view, because they just want the ball, they just want the chance to get the ball and get the ball forward.
So Villa free kick into the final minute, well into the final minute of added time, of normal time. We're about to find out how much added time we will get. Lindstrom, long ball. Calvert-Lewin needed the flick onto Beto. He couldn't get it. He might get the ball though. Back down to his feet now on the halfway line. Here's Illiman and Dye. Moves it from one side of the centre circle to the other. Everton 0, Aston Villa 1. Mikalenko, left-footed, cross in towards the chest of Beto, who can't do any more than that with it. Here's O'Brien. Delicate flick up into the box. Mikalenko rises with the header, but can only cushion it down into the path of Morgan Rogers, who now brings it away from the box. 4 minutes of added time. Tarkowski steps in. Everton have 4 minutes to rescue a point in this game. Aston Villa have 4 minutes to hold on to 3 crucial points. 3 goals for Blackburn. They lead Portsmouth now by 3 goals to 0 in the Championship. Everton 0, Aston Villa 1 here.
Yeah, Everton just getting themselves in better positions and looking to get the ball forward. You can see Calvert-Lewin, Beto and Dye just on that back line, just moving across every time the ball gets recycled out the other side, looking for that diagonal pass. A chance to get the ball forward for Everton and get the ball into the box and cause a little bit of chaos.
Almost 5 at the back here. Morgan Rogers stepping in. Mikalenko drifts a lovely cross in towards Beto on the edge of the 6-yard box. The chest control down on the clearances from Mangala. Then Tarkowski can't get his interception in, but O'Brien has read that well. Mikalenko, forward ball, won't get over the head of Matty Cash, but Dominic Calvert-Lewin trying to capitalise on the loose ball, headed down. Here's Ndiaye, just outside the penalty area. Chest control, gets it down on the floor again. Tarkowski has a look, right-footed. It's everything at this for now for Everton, with Mangala swinging a volley at it and caught it cleanly enough, but Martinez with a little jump, salmon-like to his right-hand side, catches the ball, holds on to it, and will waste vital seconds for Aston Villa.
Yeah, that's what they're looking for though. They're looking for that diagonal pass, maybe a second ball, maybe a knockdown. Mangala gets his shot off there after the chest control. I think there's just a slight deflection that just takes the pace off it a little bit for Martinez to gather it.
Everton 0, Aston Villa 1. 2 minutes of the added 4 remain. Everton have a free kick, 15 yards or so inside their own half, which Jordan Pickford will take, and he pushes everybody forward. We are into the 93rd minute. Remember, it was the 93rd minute of Marouane Fellaini the last time David Moyes played a home game as Everton manager. Maybe the chance now for Calvert-Lewin. The free kick sent long, yes, but Lundstrom put it in from the right-hand side, and Calvert-Lewin, without a goal in 15 Premier League matches, perhaps showing why. From the edge of the 6-yard box, he scoops it over.
and you just sense that was the one chance that was going to get towards the end of this game, the one chance that they needed, and you wouldn't want it to fall to another player really in an Everton shirt. A couple of years ago he was eating them up, he was burying them left, right and centre, both feet, header, but just at the minute it's just not going for him, it's just not falling for him, and he'll certainly be disappointed with that, especially at the state of the game and the stage of the game that we're at. That's a massive chance that Calvert-Lewin has missed.
David Moyes flashed his head back to his dugout. Jordan Pickford has the ball in his hands, edge of his penalty area, into the final minute of added time we go. Everton 0, Aston Villa 1. The two number 10s come together, and it's Ndiaye who can emerge with the ball up towards Calvert-Lewin. Villa throw in the challenge. Two of their players are down injured here. Referee just had a look at them. They slowly clamber to their feet with Morgan Rogers racing out towards his right hand side, deeper and deeper into the Everton half. Everton 0, Aston Villa 1. The ball's gone over the touchline, and the referee just wants to check here that Tyrone Mings is okay first of all.
Yeah, Morgan Rogers, fantastic play there from him. See him do it so often. He drives the ball forward. He's got so much strength when he's running. Scored a great goal against Man City the other week, doing exactly the same. Got on the end of a pass after a great run. Done the same here to run the clock down and get his team a free kick in that end of the pitch to relieve any pressure from Everton. Done great for his team.
Big 3 points set for Aston Villa. We're past the 4 minutes of added time. Tielemans infield. Kamara will have a little run into the penalty area. Challenge goes in from Idrissa Gana Gueye. Comes to Onana midway inside the Everton half. Past the 4 minutes now. Closer to 5 minutes perhaps of added time. Buendia is challenged. That's a free kick, and that's the cue for a lot of Everton fans to head for the exit. Mark Albrighton.
Yeah, just epitomises the game really. Just little free kicks, little stoppages, and like I say, these last sort of 30 seconds to a minute, just a couple of little free kicks that have just absolutely killed the game for Villa, killed the game off and won it for them in the end.
Free kick clipped up to this near side for Morgan Rogers. There'll be no more. That is a big 3 points for Aston Villa, whose recent away form has left them. They're back on track tonight with Ollie Watkins' goal, but there'll be no reunion party for Everton and David Moyes. They've lost by a goal to nil. They're still only a point off the relegation zone, but it is Aston Villa who can take all 3 points from Goodison Park. Their record over Everton continues and stretches to 12 games without defeat. It edges them closer back to the European places. As for Everton, well, the relegation places are the ones that they've got to worry about, and David Moyes has work to do, fresh in the job, but can't get off to a winning start on his second coming, and it has finished here. Everton 1, Everton 0, Aston Villa 1.
Yeah, huge 3 points on the road for Aston Villa. Any win away in the Premier League is a big win, but with Villa's in different form coming into the game, and everything surrounding Everton and David Moyes and the enthusiasm that brought at the start of this game, it was always going to be a big ask for Villa to come here and get all 3 points, but they did superbly well. They weren't at their best with the ball, but defensively they were strong, they were resolute. Tyrone Mings, Ezri Konsa worked fantastically well together, put their bodies on the line, last ditch tackles, headers. They were strong, they didn't lose much at all. And then you've got the quality of Ollie Watkins to be able to come up with the goods and come up with a winning goal and bring the 3 points home for Aston Villa. But I think from an Everton point of view, I don't think they'll be too disappointed in the performance. They worked very, very well to a man. They were strong, they were powerful, they fought for everything. They just couldn't find the breakthrough tonight.
Big games to come at the weekend for both. Everton host Spurs, Aston Villa go to Arsenal, but it's Villa who'll head into that game with a bigger smile on their face. It has finished here, well, thanks to Mark Albrighton, finished here at Goodison Park. Everton 0, Aston Villa 1, and we're going to head back to North London. A tasty affair. Arsenal against Spurs in the North London derby. Arsenal leading 2-1 as it stands. Your commentary team, Alistair Bruce Ball and Pat Nevin.